Life is precious, and we all have the opportunity of living it to the fullest. Unfortunately, so few of us know how to manage it all. How do we account for our opportunities? How do we account for our time? How do we account for our relationships, health, spirituality, homes, finances, influence, and careers? How do we account for the one life we have to live? I am so glad you asked. In this program, you will find answers to all of these questions and more. Welcome to the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore.
What's going on, and welcome back. Today, we're talking about the dangers of easy money. Have you ever thought to yourself or heard people talk about easy come, easy go? Like you've heard that before. Have you ever heard, money is the root of all evil? Well, it's the love of money. Have you ever heard it's better to be poor than it is to be rich? Because people really think that, man, if I just have money, it's probably not going to be good. But we're going to talk about today the dangers of easy money, really from the biblical perspective of what we should know about money and why it can be good. All right, let's jump into this. So I was checking out this topic today and looking over Proverbs, which actually next month in in January, I believe we're going to actually go through Proverbs the whole month. We're probably going to do a podcast on each chapter, not the whole chapter, just probably one or two verses or maybe three verses for each podcast. But today, it just so happened to come up that we're looking at a proverb, and it's really around easy stuff, right? Because when things come easy, think about this. If you don't have to work for something, right? Let's just think about it. If you didn't have to work for something, then that means you won't know what it feels like to have to work for something. So if we don't know how to work, and if we don't know the best way to do things, or if we just get it so easy, then we can wind up in a situation where we just don't know how to do it. Look, I got to tell you a quick story. And this is what happened to me in 2008. 2008, you already know, the market collapsed. Real estate. I was in real estate, had houses. I was hoping to build a real estate empire, mortgage business, accounting business. The accounting business more than this. It was full-time, but it was not as lucrative as the real estate. And back then, things were going good. We had just purchased, 2006, we had just purchased this house, and it was a dream house. Like when we came into this house, we were just excited. We were like, yo, we cannot believe that this is going to be our house when we bought this house. So Jared was 3 years old. Jacob literally was born the day. Well, yeah, he was born the day we closed on the house. I'm talking, we was in the hospital. Jenny's in labor, and we're signing the papers. And so we signed the papers, and it took us about 30 days to get from the old house to the new house. But man, when we got in, it's just awesome. It's just like, wow, just almost like, when I look back and I think about growing up in Newark, New Jersey, 122 South 7th Street and 77 Orton Street in Newark. Those are the two places we live. When I think about, 2-bedroom apartment, I think about the 3-bedroom apartment that the family lived in. And, there's 3 sons, and then there was 4 sons, and a mother and a father in a 2-bedroom and a 3-bedroom. So when we move into a house that's how many square feet is it? 30. I think it's 36 first 2 levels, and then in the basement, maybe another 18. So it's a lot of space. What? We got a big old, I'm just kind of going through this. So we get in, and it's just like, wow, this is great. 2008 comes. And then, I remember it came, and, me and my partner, we had a mortgage company. Luckily the lease was up. And we looked at each other like, hey, it's probably best not to renew that lease, because the rent on that place was going from $5,000 to $7,000 a month. And we were just like, hey, with the market kind of being kind of jammed up, we may not want to do it. Didn't do it. Took everything home. doing all the stuff from home that we can, but everything's going down. Everything's going down. And as everything's going down, it's almost like, well, where do I start? Like literally, that's where I was. I'm at home. I'm like, well, where do I start? Like, okay. I'm like, man, we were doing decent, but where do I start now? Now that the market is shifted, at least that's in my mind, but not realizing it was a shift. Say with me, when the market goes down, there's a shift happening. Say that. When the market goes down, there's a shift happening. That just means that one area may be drying up, but others are opening. But most people don't see it. I remember a friend of mine who stayed in the mortgage business. He saw an opportunity. He says, Jay, look, you should stay in the mortgage business. And I was like, nah. He says, man, I'm telling you, man, you should stay in the business. It's still going to be good. He had some times where it wasn't as lucrative as it was, but he stayed in, and boy, oh boy, like his business blew up. Shifts when the market goes down, there's a shift. So, but what are the dangers of easy money? Here's what the danger was. We had made easy money in our businesses up to that point. It was easy to get houses. It was easy to get deals. It was easy to do whatever we were doing, and we didn't have much obstruction to get to. I mean, obviously, there's always room for growth, but it wasn't much that we had to do. So when the easy dried up and it was time to shift into something new, the shifting was hard. Think about this, 2008 and 2000. So I would say from 2009, 10, 11, 12 was when I personally shifted. So between 8, 9, 10, 11 were 3 years of basic stagnation, literally stagnation, because I had lived in the easy money trap. I had made more money than I'd ever made before, and didn't know what to do in order to get started again, in order to actually start getting back where I was. But if someone would have read this proverb that I'm going to read to you, that someone would have read it to me, then I would have at least understood that I needed to get some wisdom. So let's look at this Proverbs found in chapter 13. And here's what it says. The more easily you get your wealth, the sooner you will lose it. Wait, and this is coming from the Good News Translation. The sooner so think about this. Easy come, easy go. It just means that you say you got it fast this year, you could get it. It could be gone next year just as fast. Then it says, the harder it is to earn, the more you will have. Wow. It's taken a while, guys. I've had to go on through, I've been in the valley. I've been up, I've been down, I've just been sideways. So the fact that it's like, oh, when something is hard to do and you stick with it, what happens is you actually figure out your flaws. You figure out what's wrong with you. You figure out what's wrong with the opportunity. At least you could. At least for me, that's what's been happening. So the more easy you get your wealth, the sooner you will lose it. The harder it is to earn, the more you will have. So the dangers of easy money is simple. Easy come, easy go. If you don't actually know exactly how it worked, then when it goes away, you won't know how to pivot. Like this happens in every industry. When there's a boom, people tend to, a lot of people will have success, but a lot of people won't understand how they got the success, and they won't be able to translate it into what they want or into the next thing. And then just like say real estate, and how usually, especially in real estate, when the market goes one way, it's all, oh, the market is down. Oh, the market is good. Like it's just the market. When I don't know, in the accounting business, it's just accounting. Like think about this. Real estate is going to be around forever. Real estate ain't going nowhere. So if real estate isn't going away, if it's not going away, then that all that means is that you will always have something to buy, something to sell. So I don't know what. So yeah, the interest rate's this and interest rate that. still real estate ain't going nowhere, just like accounting's not going anywhere. So in most cases, most things aren't going away. It's just that we're sold scarcity. What? Yes, we're sold scarcity, and then we buy it up by going to, I remember 2008, like, because we moved home, I'm sitting, I got my laptop out, and I wasn't even working down in my office. I'm working in my bedroom on the couch, TV on, CNN going, and it's just drilling in me, the market, the market, the market. And I'm just like, yup, yup, yup. Oh well, I guess I'm going, I guess this was a good run. Like, I've had that conversation. It was a good run because I had experienced easy money. And at that point, I didn't know the basics of business. Yeah. Well, Jay, you was an accountant or you was a business owner. Yeah, I still didn't know stuff. Just because you're in business doesn't mean you know this stuff, which I didn't know it. So when I think about it, and I think about today, and I think about how anybody who's in business, or especially people who are looking to grow, when you work to discover, like, really how something works, when you work to discover how stuff works, when you worked to know that you have a vision, to know that you have a mission, to know that you have a purpose for doing it, and you have goals that you have to reach, when you have those four things, dangers of easy money won't apply to you. Because even if it came fast, you would have a process. You would have a process. I would have a process that would help me even if I needed to make a shift. So look, let's look at the Proverbs once again, and then we're just going to think about this for today. The more easy you get your wealth, the sooner you will lose it. And we're not going to be that person. The harder it is to earn, the more you would have. Who doesn't want to be the latter? So if something is hard, if I have to go through struggles, and in some cases, we may go through tragedies. We may go through situations that are very uncomfortable. It says that person will have a lot. The harder it is, the more you will have. So don't fall into the trap like I did with easy money. Realize that when it's hard, that's good. And that hard is going to help. It's going to help you, and it's going to help me to be able to get what we want and to get to the places that we want, so we can become the people who we know we were supposed to be, doing the things we were supposed to do, helping those we know we have to help. So guys, the danger of easy money, don't let that be you. Make sure you download the Get Your Breakthrough Now book at thehealthyaccountants.com. It's right there on the homepage. Click it. You'll see the book icon right there. Bang, you get it, download it. And if you're a person that likes to listen, you have an opportunity to buy the ebook, which you can listen to and read the book. So guys, I appreciate you. Love you. I'll see you back here on the next episode. Peace.
Thanks for joining us, listening friends. We are so glad you invested this time with us. Always remember, you only have one life to live, so live it to the fullest. This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.